Welcome back, everyone. This is a new entrepreneuring interview brought to you by the Arrowhead Center at NMSU. I'd like to welcome our guest today, Juan Albert from New Mexico Borderworx, which you can find by visiting nmborderworx.com. Juan, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come on the podcast.
Oh, and thank you. Thank you for this invitation.
I appreciate it. Now, the obvious question, what is New Mexico Borderworx? What type of work are you doing over there?
Yeah, New Mexico Borderworx essentially is a management consulting firm involved in helping companies with startups wanting to export or those who are already exporting, helping them and looking to expand their market overseas. Being on the border, we do border, of course, the country of Mexico, which is our second largest trading partner. And when I did some research identifying what percentage of companies in New Mexico actually export, it led me to create New Mexico Borderworx. Less than 1% of New Mexico companies actually export. So I thought New Mexico Borderworx could be a catalyst to get companies involved in understanding and getting involved in exporting primarily to the country of Mexico.
So is there a common theme among your clients, or is it a wide variety?
Well, I'm targeting mostly high tech, because high tech is, I think, the area where most the New Mexico companies would have more opportunities. We have companies in aerospace, metals, information technology, cyber security, even engineering and infrastructure development. Those were the areas that I'm actually targeting, because again, looking at the needs of the Mexican economy and looking at the opportunities available for New Mexico companies, those were the industries I decided to target on.
Now, that sounds like a specific, like at some point you probably had an epiphany to why you should target exporting as what you're going to build your company to be. Let's turn back the clock. How did you get to this point?
Well, I do have an international background. I left it about a decade ago, but I spent in the 80s, in the 90s in Latin America. I worked throughout Latin America and did some work in Europe and a little bit in Asia. But my interest and my specialty is more in Latin America. So coming to New Mexico 10 years ago, I did some odd and end things, but I decided after Arrowhead came up with this opportunity to build another business. They were basically the ones who put a flashbulb back in and going back to my past and saying, you know what, maybe it's time to get back into the international world.
So this isn't your first entrepreneurial journey?
No, this is one of several I've had. In the past, I've done consulting work in Latin America. I also imported mostly gift items, artisan products from Mexico and other parts of Latin America. And then now I want to focus more on providing opportunities for New Mexico companies looking at overseas markets.
And then you mentioned Arrowhead Center. Let's go a little deeper. How has the center helped you?
Oh, it's great. I've emphasized to all the crew there that's been a great program. It was a 4-week program that emphasized, it was a curriculum, but a curriculum based on homework. I mean, we had homework to do, research to do, presentations to do. And one of the most outstanding things I think we did was the actual Canvas business model that strategically helped companies like myself, identify their markets, what they wanted to do, how they were going to accomplish their goals and objectives. Then to make those presentations on every Friday, we had to make a presentation via Skype or in person to the team, as well as the other entrepreneur startups as well. So it was a great opportunity to again form a disciplined curriculum and make presentations for your final product.
It sounds like you were rather receptive to new ideas that the Arrowhead Center was suggesting. Did that come naturally to you, or did you have to kind of get comfortable with it?
I'm always receptive. I think you never you can't stop learning, and I think what Arrowhead is doing here in our community is phenomenal. Again, trying to create entrepreneurship, trying to allow companies to start up for financing and so forth, which access to capital, which is, it's a critical need for startup companies.
So if you could give a tip, what would you say is the most valuable lesson that you have learned as an entrepreneur?
Be yourself, be creative, take risk, and don't be afraid to do those things, because they're, it's an old cliche, you only live once, but I think it's so important. To me, there's nothing more than the world of entrepreneurship. I always felt in my past businesses, it may not be the biggest, it may not be the best, but it's yours. And it's yours to create, it's yours to formulate, yours to restructure, yours to relearn, because there's always a learning process. But take risk and go for something that you really believe in. That's
it almost like that sounds wonderful, but also you have so much freedom to do all of the things that you just talked about. How do you know, or can you know when to focus on which one of those aspects you need to work towards?
Yeah, that's kind of the juggling aspect you have to do as entrepreneurs. You've got to start balancing out where you should put your resources, time, and energy, and funding. So that's kind of the old juggling aspect you have to do as an entrepreneur. And then it's a lot of lessons learned, of what's working for you, what's not working for you. But it's something that evolves over time. And and there's something you have to have an exit strategy. You find one area not working for you, then you've got to go out and evolve and find other ones.
Well, before we end here, Juan, before you go, where can everyone find more information about New Mexico Borderworx and the work that you're doing?
Well, I appreciate that. It's my website is www.nm, which is newmexicoborderworx.com. So NM Borderworx, but Borderworx with an X. .com, or my telephone number is area code 575-323-4413.
Well, thank you very much again for your time, Juan. I always love hearing these types of stories. And just one more time, if you want to check it out, it is nmborderworx, spelled with an X.com. Go there and check it out.
Thank you, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thanks as always for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more interviews with entrepreneurs. And visit arrowheadcenter.nmsu.edu to learn how New Mexico State University can help you launch your business.